He killed my brother. A man I trusted, working for them. Why? For what? Some diamonds. These were in Castillo's apartment. It's what Alberto went to get the night he died. It was an investment in our future, in our new drug. We were gonna run the family together. But Berta was taken from me. And I refuse to let these old fucking men push me aside again like I'm nothing. So I'm gonna take from them now. And I'm gonna force them to their knees. This should be fun. What do you say, Oz? You in?
Let's dance.
Greetings, citizens of Gotham, and welcome back to another episode of The Penguins Mightier. I don't love the name, but it's a pun, and I use them to punish you, the listener, with my hilarity. It's been a couple days since the second episode of The Penguin premiered on HBO and Max. But I'm finally here, ready to talk about it. I just watched it this morning before work. There's a reason I didn't get to it on Sunday evening, and that's because my wife and I took her mother to Boston to see Mamma Mia. Yes, that happened. And I have to tell you, I had a wonderful time. Yes, it was like going out on a Sunday night, not loving it, but it was a wonderful time. Everything worked out perfectly, and it allowed me to spend some quality time with the family and dance a little to some ABBA. Who doesn't want to do that? But I'm here now and ready to talk some Penguin. Episode 2, Inside Man. As I said, I just finished watching it. No notes, so I'm just kind of going to go on memory. What was this episode about? Well, it's basically the fallout of what happened in the first episode. I talked about last time, Oz did this whole, cool thing where he gave the ring back to Maroni so that he could use that as a way to set up Maroni for the killing of the young Falcone boy, young Falcone man that Penguin actually, did the deed. And I thought, well, how long is that ruse going to last? Because Maroni knows he didn't do it, and he knows about the ring, and he knows it was all a setup. Well, they got that out of the way pretty quickly. He called Oz on it, and Oz was like, "Yeah, now you can take the credit for it. Now you're the big man." Like, he almost shows that he did it for him, and Maroni's like, "I could just sell you out," but he still wants him in place for that shipment, for those drops. I do like the idea that there's a new drug, that Gotham created a drug. I know this drug was in the Batman, but I like the idea that it's something that I don't know. Like, is that a thing? Are there ways to do drugs through your eyeballs? I'm a very straight-laced young individual, so I have no idea about eyeball drugs. But I like the idea of that as a mechanism to do drugs. I don't know. It just seems unique to me. And they carried it over into the Penguin. That seems to be the big drug du jour, which that sounds good. And Oz knows, oh, actually, they're talking about a new drug. So they have the drug, there's a drops thing going on, plus there's still that shipment for the new drug that I think only Oz and Sophia know about. But now Maroni is okay with Oz being on the inside and kind of wants him to continue to be on the inside. And he wants Oz is giving up a new drug shipment, and he's like, this is how it's going to happen. This is how it's going to go down. You can hit it. But at the same time, he's like, you need to hit the front car, not the other cars. And yet Doug Stamper from House of Cards, I don't know his name in this. He's like the right-hand man to the Falcone family, but he's also having intercourse with the new Falcone's wife. We'll talk about the new Falcone. Uh, he tells him, it's your shipment, it's your call, you get in the front car. So that leads to this whole thing where Penguin basically has to kill some of his own men, pretend he's saving another man. And he just kind of, he squeaks his way through. We know that in the long run, the Penguin is a major player in Gotham, uh, in the Gotham crime world. We know this because we've seen years and years and years of Batman stories. But at the same time, we're watching this show, and the Penguin, Oz, whatever you want to call him, he is the hero of the show. He is the one we are rooting for. He is the one we want to snake through and get to the front. It's kind of that Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad feeling or even The Sopranos, and he's almost doing a Tony Soprano, Colin Farrell, where we know these are all criminals, we know these are all villains, but this is the guy we're rooting for. This is the guy we want to come out on top of the underworld. So he's sneaking his way through this. At the same time, we give him a sympathetic mother who has some dementia, but we can see she's kind of a hard ass too. The way she raised him, it seems like turning him into this. We're also dealing with in the Falcone family. There's this whole power vacuum because Dad was killed by the Riddler in the movie. The son took over at the beginning of this series. Penguin took him out for laughing at him. And then the daughter comes in. You think, okay, she's going to take over. But this daughter, we find out, they call her the Hangman. She was in Arkham. In this episode, we learn more about her. We see that she has a therapist she goes to, Theo Rossi. There might be a little something going on there. They looked at each other in the eyes. I'm not sure after seeing Theo Rossi on, was it Luke Cage? And then on Sons of Anarchy. I don't know if you could trust him. He always makes me nervous. Am I going to trust him or not? But they call her the Hangman. Serial killer. I think they said she killed 7 women. She's got some markings around her neck. I don't know what that has to deal with, like, if that's where she got the nickname, the Hangman. I think we're going to learn more and more about that. But she is dealing with the fact that she thinks she should be taking over, and yet the family called in Luca Falcone, the brother of Salvatore Falcone, or Salvatore Maroni, Carmine Falcone. I don't know. But they bring in the brother, and he seems to be the new boss in charge. And he's like, "Don't worry about it, Sophia. We got to take care of it. You should lay low, get away, go to Italy." He's kind of basically trying to push her aside. We see at the brother's funeral that she has family who love her and thinks they should do things. But then when the little girl goes by, they tense up, and you could see that this family is actually afraid of her and actually worried that she could, snap, or they're just frightened of her. But she could use that. She could use that against them, or for her own benefit. So the drug heist goes down. The Penguin gets out of it, but there's an inside man there's a man who took over the drug drop. He knows that the Penguin's in on it. They capture him. They actually found him at the hospital, brought him back. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a dirty cop who used to work for Sophia's dad. He's a drophead, so they give him money, they give him drugs, and they say, "You're going to work for me. Find out who is this inside person who hit us on the Maroni side." They get this guy, bring him in. They actually have him at the house during the funeral. Not ideal. During the after the mercy meal for the funeral, he's in the house. Penguin knows that. He's like, "You need to cover up for me. You need to save this guy, Vidi." That's the Doug Stamper guy, the right hand man. You need to say he did it. He's the one who told you about this drop. But then they're going to plant the jewels on him. Remember the jewels from the beginning of the first episode where he found the jewels, and then the son's like, "Those are our jewels. That's for our future. That's how we're going to pay for this this drug deal. You need to give those to me, Penguin." Then Penguin kills that guy. He has the jewels. He's going to go plant them on Vidi and say, I think his name is Vidi, and say, you took the jewels. You are the thief. You're the guy who's, ruining our family. But the kid doesn't get it. Vic doesn't get it worked out. He freaks out and he runs. So Penguin's like, change of plans, stabs the guy right there, plants the knife on another guy who was actually a perfectly loyal right hand man to Sophia. They take him out. And the men are like, we need to figure this out, Sophia. You need to lay low. That's when he says, go to Italy. Um, but at the same time, that guy Vidi, the right hand man, was stooping Luca Falcone's wife, and he's been doing it for a while. That's the blackmail photos that it looked like the Falcone had at the Iceberg Lounge. Now Penguin has them, and he ends up giving them to Maroney's wife, who I recognize from TV shows, but
She has a very distinct voice, and she talks. Yeah, she has a very deep voice. I think maybe she tried a cigarette or two in her day.
I don't know, but I was watching the aftermath, and they're basically saying Maroney has married this Iranian woman and now kind of replaced. She's kind of taken over the lead, and he's replaced most of his Italian mafia with his Persian Iranian mafia. I think I got that right. So they're kind of taking the lead for the Maroney family in Gotham. Uh, so I thought that was interesting. There was something else in the extras I thought was kind of cool. Oh, I liked they um, the guns. They had this whole this prop that's a gun with an actual bright flash light on it. So when you shoot it, it flashes light and it looks real, and it gives the actor something like to work off of, to play off of. I thought that was a cool thing. Um, so Penguin visits his mom. We see a little moment of dementia with the mom, but we see some character play because he plays some jazz for her. She kind of relaxes with the jazz. We learn later that jazz is something that brought them together after Penguin's brothers were died. We Sophia has a therapist. We see that the family's tense around her. We see that they want to shove her to the side, but we find out that that she wants to now work with the Penguin because she's like, this guy stole the jewels, and they found him in his apartment. So they moved the jewels to the guy um, that they blackmailed, not that they blackmailed, that they framed. They dropped the knife on him. I thought it was going to be the other guy, the main guy, but of course they can't get rid of him that quickly. So they plant the knife on him. He's dead. They plant the jewels in his house. Now they give him a motive, and now Sophia's like, "I need you need your help, Oz. You need to help me kind of figure this out, and I'll get these guys out of the way. I should be the one in lead. You should help me." Oz is like, "Hey, whatever you need," but at the same time, he's the one doing all of this. He's the one doing all of this, and I love it. The same time, that kid Vic, he seems like he's apprehensive. He seems nervous about all of this. And Oz makes him lie down with these dead bodies and says, if that's where you want to end up. That's where you could end up, or you can, get yourself together and, get to work. And you got to deal with this. You got to make sure that, maybe you're the wrong guy for the job. But if he's the wrong guy for the job, Penguin's going to kill him. So he better be the right guy for the job. We do have some moments with him, and I'm talking with my hands a lot. We do have some moments with him and some young women. Seems like Penguin's girlfriend has a group of girls that work for her, and they came over to hang out and partay. Um, Penguin lives in a bank vault. Is that what I'm seeing here, or is that part? Is that from the club? I don't remember. There was a cool bank vault, and I think that's kind of it. We get, the Sophia stuff is cool. I like learning. I like seeing that the everyone's kind of tense around her, and she feeds into it. She just grabs a bunch of food at the funeral and shoves it in her mouth. Um, but the Penguin set up Maroney and then said, "I'm going to help you though. You're gonna get the credit for this." At the same time, he's ready to cover up or undermine the Falcones, but at the same time work for the Falcones. It's basically, what is the most direct way for me to get to the next step? As he said, at one point, Vic's like, should we get out of here? He's like, no, the only way through to get through this is to go headstrong through it. The only way to get by is to go through, or something like that. Basically, full steam ahead, no turning back. Basically, full steam ahead, no turning back. And now you want me to work for you, Sophia, even though I'm the one who killed your brother. I'm the one who framed your number one guy, and all of this is because of me. You want me to work for you? Sure, I'll do whatever you need me to. I'm your loyal number one guy now. And what he did was he moved him up. See, they took that guy out. Now maybe he's Sophia's number one going forward. He's going to be with her wherever she goes, and it just gets him one step closer to the tippity top of the iceberg, which is where he wants to be. So I'm very happy with the show so far. 2 episodes in, and not a comment about Batman in sight. Not even the vigilante. None of that stuff. They did mention the Riddler because there's been so much, like, there's lack of food, lack of drink, lack of some resources, and they're like, thank the Riddler for that. A bartender said. So that was the one major reference there. But I'm wondering, I guess the criminals are dealing with the criminals. The Batman's still fairly new to them, and he's doing a lot of street, on the street crime. So maybe this organized crime stuff he's not quite worried about right now. But you feel like at some point they don't have to show him, they don't have to do anything, and I don't think they would show him. I think that's the point. But a reference. I wonder if we'll get a reference in the next couple episodes. What with what's going on with crime. Not even a direct reference, just a reference that could be a reference to a reference about a reference. I wonder. So that's it. I'm done. 2 episodes in, and I did this one a little differently. I recorded this one just using Zoom this time. So the quality of the video isn't as good, but at the same time, it's much easier to do. So that's why I did it. And that's it. That's if you're watching this on video. But thank you so much for listening. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and Mastodon.social at Geek Mentality. The Facebook page is Fans.Experts. The YouTube channel is Fans.Experts. And the website is fansnotexperts.com. That's it. I'm done. It's now 8:28 a.m. I'm going to start my workday now and get this up to you, the loyal viewers and listeners, later. But until then, well, actually, no, because you don't see this until now, I will see you next week to talk more Penguin. But until then, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. And here is my theme song. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe, 'cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time, and I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode. Fans Not Experts.